Numbers 21 and 22. So now we're going to look at exponential growth and decay. On your study guide, you'll see the general equations for exponential growth. So when you're increasing by a certain rate or percentage, and exponential decay when you're decreasing by a certain rate or percentage. So first thing, if you look at 21, you've got an equation there, and we're going to answer some questions about it. So y equals 50 times 1.03 raised to the fourth power. So our first question is, what is the initial amount? That's the amount that corresponds to A in our formula. It's our beginning amount, and so that's in this A position in our equation. So the initial or starting amount is 50. Now, does the equation represent growth or decay? You're going to have to analyze this number that's being raised to the power. If the number is greater than 1, you have a situation of growth because you have a certain rate that's being added on to the original amount. So this is growth. And then what is the percent rate of increase or decrease? Well, that's simply going to be this decimal portion. And so it's 0.03, or if we move the decimal 2 places to the right, as a percentage, this situation is increasing by 3%. Now in number 22, we have a similar equation. Y equals 6 times 0.25 raised to the x. So the initial amount is going to be in the same location. So this situation starts with an initial amount of 6. Does it represent growth or decay? Notice that this number that's being raised to the power is less than 1. That means some number has been taken away from 1, subtracted, so this is a situation of decay. Now to find that rate of decrease in this situation, you need to take what you've got there and subtract it from 1. So 1 minus 0.25 is 0.75. So this is the rate of decrease, or if we move the decimal 2 places to the right, 75%. Now let's look at some actual situations of growth and decay. So Sherry has $5,500 to invest at 2.7% interest. How much money will Sherry have after 12 years? So when you have money and you're investing it, that's a growth situation. So we'll have our initial amount of $5,500 times 1 plus the rate, but we're going to move that decimal place 2 to the left and then raise it to our amount of time. So on your calculator, do what's inside parentheses first, raise it to the 12th power, then take it times 5,000. Now since this is a money situation, you want to round to the nearest cent unless you were told otherwise. And we weren't, so we're going to round to cents. So Sherry will have about $7,571.91. Now on number 24, a population of aliens is decaying at a rate of 3% each year. The population began with 2,234 aliens. How many aliens do you expect there to be after 15 years? Then we're going to round to the nearest whole number. So notice that word I underlined in our problem, decaying. So we're going to have a exponential decay situation. So start with our initial amount. We'll take 1 minus that rate of decrease as a decimal raised to the 15th power. Now again, do what's inside parentheses first, so subtract your 0.03 from 1, raise it to the 15th power, and then multiply it times 2234. And you should end up with about 1,415 aliens.